Now, how many functioning razor blades have you thrown out because they got oxidated and rusty? Ew. And how much usable toilet paper have you wasted because you didn't know any better? Luckily, that can change if you follow some simple tips. Now, let's say you've just arrived back from the grocery store. The bags are full of fresh produce and refrigerated items. If you're a Type A person, you probably look at your empty fridge and start throwing your groceries inside without any type of organizational system. Now, if you were a Type B, maybe you stop for a moment to assess the situation and try to figure out the best way to distribute your food. No matter which scenario you fit into, I bet you've been storing some essential day-to-day items in a very wrong way. Take eggs. We're used to them coming beautifully placed in their little carton packages, ready to be picked one by one and transferred to the egg compartment located on the fridge's door. But have you ever stopped to wonder whether that is really the best place to store your eggs after all? Turns out it's not the ideal place for them. The refrigerator door is one of the warmest parts of a fridge, as it is being constantly opened and closed, compromising the egg's overall quality. According to food safety experts, there is such a thing as the correct order to store food inside the fridge. Refrigeration plays a large role in keeping your food safe. The first rule of keeping food fresh is to always check the temperature in the places where you store it. The temperature inside kitchen cabinets should be between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees. And when it comes to the fridge, it must be around 37 degrees Fahrenheit, while the freezer should mark nothing over 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Store your refrigerated foods by cooking temperature, from the lowest temperature on the upper shelves to the highest cooking temperature on the bottom shelves. Keep ready-to-eat foods that need little to no cooking at all on the first fridge shelf. Then organize the rest of your shelves by cooking temperature. In this scenario, eggs would go on the third or fourth shelf, as they cook between 145 and 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Now bread. If you're a carb eater, you've certainly lost multiple packages of bread before. They are notoriously known for their super-fast expiring dates and the colonies of mold that appear from what seems to be thin air and force us to throw away otherwise good slices of bread. Well, here's some good news. There is a way to keep your loaf of bread fresh for weeks and even months. And contrary to eggs and milk, the fridge is not the way to go for that to happen. Instead, separate the slices of bread and place them in a plastic bag. Now, close the bag, removing all air from inside it. Be sure to leave the bag as free from air as possible. That is what will generate its safe storage. Now, place the airtight bags of plastic into a freezer, and voila! Your bread can last up to 3 months that way. How about pickles and other condiment food jars? In order to make them last longer, store them upside down, as that will prevent mold growth. And yes, you can keep these ones on your fridge's door. There's no problem with that. Before we leave the kitchen, try this out. Whenever you buy a new nonstick saucepan, season it before actually cooking anything on it. First, you'll need oil. Rub on the edges of your pan and place it inside the stove for about 60 seconds. Let it absorb the heat, then remove the pan from the stove and let it cool down. Wipe off the excess oil, and there you have it. This way, the oil will fill in any small gaps or little pores in the pan, smoothing down the surface until it's all even. You can now expose the pan to high temperatures and it won't get damaged. Now, let's move on to bathroom items. Toilet paper is easily one of the most wasted household items. Even if we notice it, we don't really do much to change the way we go about it. Apart from the classic over-under discussion of how we should place toilet paper, there is a less-known must-do habit that we often ignore. Just to fill you in case you've been oblivious to this until now, toilet paper science has long debated whether the correct way to hang the roll is with the loose end draped over the top or with the loose end hanging inside next to the wall. And as much as I bet many here already know the answer, can I have a drum roll, please? Well, you got that right if you guessed with the loose end draped over the top. It is so for the simple reason that over provides easier access to the loose hanging end of the paper and minimizes the risk of knuckle-on-wall germ gathering. Ooh. But now, toilet paper ingenuity doesn't end here. Did you know that to reduce toilet paper waste, you should squish your rolls before placing them on the bathroom hanger? By squishing, I mean laying them down horizontally and pressing them down with your hand until their aspheric center has turned into an oval, almost flattened shape. Yes, you should aim at flattening your toilet paper, and no, I haven't lost my mind. That happened long ago. The purpose of this practice is to make it harder for toilet paper to rotate. When you hang it in its usual, more circular form, it rotates too easily. This way, it lets us, the toilet paper users, effortlessly enjoy it in an unlimited fashion. Depending on the force we use to pull the paper, we will end up with twice or 3 times the amount of paper we needed in the first place. And sure, we could just roll the excess back. But I bet most of us here don't do that and end up just wasting huge chunks of paper. You get the idea, right? Oval-shaped paper equals more controlled rotation and thus less waste of toilet paper. So there. Then we have razor blades. If you're the person who never stops buying razor blades because the last one you bought 5 days ago is already rusty from your bathroom's humidity, maybe you'll want to listen to this one. It's not true that razor blades have such a short life expectancy. They can and should last longer in our bathroom cupboards. We just need to know how to handle them. Now, you don't have to be an expert to know that a warm and moist environment doesn't go well with razor blade steel. So, for starters, you should always dry them after using them, especially if your last usage was in the shower. Then, keep them in a cool and dry spot, maybe even out of the bathroom. They will surely last longer this way. Using a rusty blade can be especially bad for your skin, contributing to bacterial or fungal infection. So that's a big no-no for leaving the blade face down in a puddle of shower water. Do keep that in mind. After that delicious shower, some people may head back to their bedrooms. If it's near bedtime, they might even decide to light that aesthetically pleasant nightside candle and enjoy the most out of its pleasing white musk and warm vanilla aroma. But if your candle has been burning too quickly, try these tricks out and see if it'll last longer. You can trim your candle's wick multiple times and keep it as far away from water and moist as possible. It will guarantee that your candle's wax stays firm and steady and thus continues to burn slower for a longer period of time. A little extra tip regarding candles: never throw away their jars once you finally burnt them out. Suppose you made it to the end of your candle. Congrats! Boil some water, wash the recipient with detergent and warm water, clean the remaining wax out of it, and reuse the jar. You can plant a succulent, store art supply, or use it for anything your heart desires. And there you have it. Little changes in habits can go a long way in your daily life. Be sure to check them out and let us know in the comments below which one was your favorite to try out. Me? I'm going to make candles out of toilet paper. We'll see how that goes. You know what? That little disc that's underneath bottle caps isn't just a leftover part of the production process. It creates an even tighter seal with the lid. So even if you turn the bottle upside down, the liquid doesn't leak out everywhere. The plastic disc keeps carbonated soda sparkly for longer as well. So keep it if it's going back into the fridge. Placing a wooden spoon across a pot of cooking pasta can prevent the water from boiling over. This will destabilize the bubbles when they contact the spoon, preventing a spillover onto the stovetop. To make the perfect smoothie, put the liquids in first. Then add any ingredients after you've put milk, coconut water, coffee, or yogurt. This will allow the perfect swirl to blend everything properly. When you open a peanut butter jar for the first time, it looks all creamy and delicious, okay? But the next day, you unscrew the lid and see a layer of unpleasantly looking brownish-yellow liquid on the top of your treat. Yuck. Well, that's oil making its way out. To avoid it, turn the jar over and store it like that. The next time, when you open the jar again, the contents will mix once more and you'll be able to enjoy that PB&J to the fullest. That hole inside of the pasta fork stirrer doesn't only drain water out, it's a great measuring tool for how much spaghetti to cook per person. The hole is the recommended amount for a single serving. Pressing the crosswalk button won't always make the walk signal come up. These buttons can be divided into 3 categories. The first needs to be pressed, the second won't work, and the third requires a push of the button to activate that walk signal after a certain time in the day. It all depends on what city you're in, the time of day, and where you are in that city. Tinfoil and plastic wrap boxes have a special design on there to hold that roll in place. A cardboard tab on each end that works as a lock. Push those tabs in, and the roll will stay inside the box. Repeatedly pushing the close door button in a U.S. elevator isn't going to make it close any sooner. In 1990, the U.S. passed a Disabilities Act for elevators, which means that elevators had to ensure that someone with a disability had time to get inside one. The only people who can bypass this are emergency workers and building maintenance people. They'll have keys or even special codes to make that button operational. You can turn on the new episode of your favorite TV show, fall into your cozy couch with a bag of chips, tear it open, and now you have to catch the chips spilling over. You've torn the bag too much. Careful not to make it worse, grab a hole punch and make a hole right at the end of the tear. That will stop it from going further thanks to the round shape of the hole. Pouring out juice or milk with the spout at the bottom leads to a glugging effect that splashes the liquid all around. To avoid this, flip the carton around with the spout at the top. This allows better airflow to happen, allowing a more even flow. Same principle works with gas cans that have 2 holes with caps. They aren't there to fill different size equipments. The second hole is meant to be uncapped before you pour your gas to prevent that glugging effect. Getting one Tic Tac out of that tiny container can usually end up as 5. I'm not complaining, but we've been doing it wrong the whole time. There's a hole built into the lid of the container that does more than keeping the lid closed tightly. Flip the container upside down and 1 Tic Tac will be stuck in the lid. Changing the thermostat setting in the vast majority of office buildings won't do a thing. The system controls are kept outside the air ducts, not on the wall. These dummy thermostats are to give the illusion that the AC or heat is changing. The most they'll change is 1 or 2 degrees. That's if they're connected at all. Non-stick pans make cleaning up a breeze after cooking a meal. But what makes a non-stick pan so useful is the coating. However, metal utensils on the pan will increase the chances of scratching or ruining the coating, so it's best to opt for those made of wood or plastic. How many times have you heated your food in the microwave only to stir it on the plate and heat it again, because it's only hot at the edges but ice cold in the center? Well, to forget about it forever, make some room in the center of the plate, spreading the food toward the edges before putting it in the oven. The microwaves heat the food from the walls, so it's only natural that the middle takes the longest to heat up. One more microwave trick while we're at it, you can actually mute it. Look closely at the front panel for a sound button. If there's none, try pressing and holding 1 or 0, stop or cancel. It'll either result in turning off the beeping sounds or activating a lock feature, and now you're on your own. Slow cookers work by trapping the heat inside and gradually cook food over a period of time. Lifting the lid to check on its progress, like a pot lid, will allow the heat to escape, increasing the amount of cooking time considerably. So, no peeking. That little pocket on your jeans wasn't designed for loose change or keys. They're originally designed for the pocket watch in the 1890s. Around those pocket areas, there are rivets sticking out as well. They're there to help reinforce the sensitive areas of the jeans that get the most wear and tear. Pre-rinsing your dishes before putting them into the dishwasher might be all for nothing. Most modern dishwashers have sensors inside to sense how dirty your plates are. This allows them to wash the dishes with a controlled amount of water. Scrape any solid food away and stack properly, allowing the dishwasher to do the hard work. Ceiling fans aren't just for hot days. There's a little switch on top that can change the direction of the fan. The summer setting runs counterclockwise to pull the cooler air up, while the winter setting moves clockwise, pushing the warmer air down. Metallic zippers have a hidden lock built in. Next time you've put on a pair of pants, shorts, or skirt, don't leave the zipper handle in an upward position. Push the little zipper tab downwards and it'll automatically lock. Toothpicks have a built-in holder to prevent you from just leaving them on the table. Just break off the top, place that on your table, and your toothpick between the notches. Pointy end up, of course. Now it won't touch the table and get all dirty. You can do the same with disposable chopsticks. Break off the top piece before you pull them apart. Every can of soda comes with a tab for easy opening of the tasty beverage, and every single one of them has a relatively large hole in the top. While it can make it easier to get your finger under the tab to get to your soda, its intended purpose is a straw holder. Spin the tab over the opening and place your straw through it to secure it in. Those tiny dimples on golf balls actually give a greater lift to the ball and reduce air resistance, meaning the ball can go further with them. These dimples come in spherical and hexagonal shapes, with each slightest change affecting the ball's performance. That is, if you can hit the thing with some degree of confidence and accuracy, which of course doesn't include me. Some pens have caps with holes in their tops. Those are put there as a safety measure. If someone accidentally swallows a cap while chewing on it, they'll still have some space to breathe. When you order a soda to go, it usually comes with a plastic lid. This lid is useful when you're in the car or walking and want to prevent your soda from spilling. But it can also be a great coaster. Just flip the lid upside down and place it under your cup. If you prefer to buy milk in plastic containers, you've probably seen big circles on their sides. These circles absorb the shock if you drop the milk jug on the floor. They also create some extra room for the jug to expand if needed. That's how you can see if the milk's turned bad without tasting it. Thank you. Women's blouses mostly have their buttons on the left, but the majority of people are right-handed, so it definitely makes more sense to put buttons on the same side. But 100 or even more years ago, only rich women had blouses with buttons, and they had maids who dressed them. The buttons on the left were actually on the right for the maids who faced the women they were dressing.